Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here, and I wanted to try and squeeze out this one final video, albeit a bit smaller than normal videos, before I fly out to BlizzCon on Tuesday. It was recently brought to my attention that the Azerite currently listed in Ny'alotha on PTR actually has unique combinations of class and spec specific Azerite traits that we have not yet seen really anywhere else in game. Now, I went to Wowhead to confirm this, and they are all, except for one, unique trait combinations. Now, each piece does indeed have an Eternal Palace specific Azerite trait on it, but I'm hoping that it's just a placeholder for the Ny'alotha specific traits and the other class ones are actually a thing. Now, obviously there's a lot of time before Ny'alotha releases, and the loot tables are not even complete for some of the bosses, it seems, as some are lacking Azerite or only drop one item so far, but I thought it would be a good time to take a look at what trait combinations we have at our potential disposal so far. Now, at this point, we only have 6 actual Azerite pieces available to us so far from Ny'alotha raid bosses. As we get a bit deeper into them, you'll most likely notice that certain traits are not present at all, while some you see a good bit of. Now, I'm hoping that the other Azerite pieces, which are just most likely not yet implemented, bring with them the traits that we are missing, and we don't see a complete overhaul of these specific ones. Starting off with chest pieces, we have Robe of the Fallen Keeper from Raden, and Robes of Unreality, which drop from Prophet Skitra. Robe of the Fallen Keeper is a strong explosive potential Demonology chest piece, while being an above average Affliction option with both Cascading Calamity and Inevitable Demise combinations. We also have both Chaos Shards and Chaotic Inferno on the first row for Destro, and Flashpoint on the second, which makes it a potential option on fights where you can leverage Flashpoint. Those fights do typically also tend to be rolling Havoc fights, however, which this piece is lacking, but in the early weeks we have to sort of work with what we're given. Robes of Unreality are a very strong destruction single target option, bringing with it your one crashing Chaos trait, or technically Flashpoint, as well as Chaos Shards. We also have the strong options of both Racking / Cascading and ID, or Supreme Commander with either Explosive Potential or Baleful for AF and Demo respectively. Now, both of these chests are lacking overwhelming power as our tier 3 Azerite choice, but do bring with them solid trait combinations early on for multiple specs. An interesting thing to note here is that there is currently no Explosive Potential / Baleful Invocation chest piece in the raid at this point. However, we do have a few options from the Residium vendor. Both of these pieces also bring with them Flashpoint for destruction and Cascading / ID combos for AF, which is a very strong option. When we get to Helms and Shoulders, things start to get a bit more interesting when looking at Demonology trait combinations. Visage of Nightmarish Machinations drops from the Zoth and brings with it the exceptionally powerful combination of either Supreme Commander or Baleful Invocation and Explosive Potential. Now, the Baleful / EP combination here is very interesting, as this is the first piece we've had access to with this trait selection pretty much this entire expansion. Previously, it could only be found on a Leveling Helm or one from a Warfront, which is pretty low eye level. We also will have access to a minimum of 2 EP chests with EP / Baleful from the Residium vendor in 8.3, which means that a double EP, double Baleful set is certainly possible. While EP is a very strong piece in Mythic Plus, it's also a very strong single target and all-around trait for Demonology. If you look at our other Helm option currently in the raid that drops from Il'gynoth, it also has the potential combination of Explosive Potential and Baleful Invocation with overwhelming power as well. Having 2 Helms in the raid that brings this specific combination should make for acquiring one pretty simple. Cowl also brings Racking / Cascading for AF, and Crashing Chaos / Chaotic Inferno or Flashpoint for Destro, which is a solid single target option. Visage also brings the Racking / Cascading combo for AF, which can be swapped to include ID if need be for certain fights. So we know that we can pretty easily achieve the double Baleful, double Explosive Potential dream by rolling one of 3 potential chests from the Azerite vendor, and then acquiring one of 2 Helms from Ny'alotha, but what options do we have when it comes to Shoulders? Spalders of Miasmic Mycelia drop from Carapace and the Zoth, and bring the combination of either Explosive Potential or Baleful Invocation, and then Umbral Blaze. Once again, we don't know what the raid specific trait will be as of yet, but we do know that Umbral Blaze is not extremely exciting. These Shoulders do bring with them overwhelming power and a decent Destro / AF single target option set though, so they aren't a complete wash. The interesting thing with these Shoulders, however, is that this is indeed the one Azerite piece that is a direct copy from Eternal Palace down to the final row. These are currently an identical pair of Shoulders to Queen's Court Shoulders, which is the main thing that worries me a bit about all of the new Azerite trait combinations in Ny'alotha. Now, it could be that it is a placeholder as well, but we'll just have to wait and see. Thankfully, the other pair of shoulders from Ny'alotha is unique, and they are the Void Ascendant's Mantle from Vexiona. These shoulders for Demonology bring with them the combination of either Supreme Commander or Explosive Potential, and then Demonic Meteor. This means that with these shoulders, or the ones from the Azerite vendor, you can complete a set consisting of triple Explosive Potential, double Baleful Invocation, and one Demonic Meteor. Now, while not all of the Azerite gear has been implemented as of yet, from what I can see, there is no option at this point of triple EP, triple Baleful, but there is still a bit of time for changes and more Azerite to be implemented. The PvP shoulders from the last few seasons have typically given access to EP and Baleful combinations, but they're not a thing on PTR as of yet, and typically require a high arena rating to actually upgrade. Void Ascendants also bring with them a decent Destro single target combination of Chaos Shards and Chaotic Inferno, although having both on one specific piece is a bit limiting in a sense, as they lose some value at more than one stack. Affliction has the combination of Cascading or ID and Sudden Onset, which is not the best, but I've certainly seen worse trait combinations. When you look at all of these Azerite pieces side by side, however, you will most likely notice a trend. Each spec has one trait that is present on each piece. Affliction has Cascading Calamity, Destro has Flashpoint, and Demo has Explosive Potential. Now, with this being the final tier of the expansion, I can certainly get behind having our stronger traits on certain pieces of gear more than others, allowing for different combinations, but then again, we're actually lacking a handful of traits as well. We see a total of 0 Pandemic Invocation traits, which is probably a good thing, for Affliction, 0 Rolling Havoc traits for Destro, and 0 Shadow's Bite traits for Demonology. Now, while I'm more than happy to trade Bite and Invocation for more consistency, having access to 0 Rolling Havoc traits is certainly an issue for Destro. There are currently only 6 Azerite pieces out of what I would imagine is going to be a total 12 for 12 bosses yet implemented, so there's still some time for them to factor in the missing traits, which is what I'm hoping for in the end. Then again, seeing so many Flashpoint, EP, and Cascading traits does also raise some concerns. I'm certainly hoping that the EP/Baleful Helm combination makes it to live, as that would certainly be a strong piece and set both for Mythic Plus and rating as a whole. It would also devalue the Baleful/Supreme Commander Vision and Perfection base builds that are so RNG based, maybe shifting us more towards a Condensed Life Force or some other major Essence build. One thing's for sure, and that is that 8.3 is certainly shaping up to be a great patch. We have 3 bosses left to test, including Ny'alotha, which I imagine will be up after BlizzCon, and I'm sure at that point we will know a lot more about what Ny'alotha has in store for us and beyond. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the current Azerite trait configurations, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them there and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to see more WoW content and help support the channel, smash those like, share, and subscribe buttons, as your support really helps. Thanks guys, and I'll see y'all on stream after BlizzCon. Peace.